Hola, Rico-san one, the only one here, and today we're doing another Things You Should Know video. We're doing it on Hiei, Fist of the Mortal Flame, as one of his best moves, and we'll talk about that in a moment. So Hiei is one of my top 3 favorite characters in this game, and he's actually not that complex. He's pretty good for beginners to start off with. Alright, so first thing you should know is that he has a couple good things about him. Firstly, this move right here. This move is a good move because, you saw them, they're staggered. You go straight into your attacks with that move. When you're charging up, Hiei, Yu Yu Hakusho, and Bleach characters, they charge up the slowest. With Hiei, when you charge up, Juganai. You take off and unleash your Juganai. So you awaken the Juganai. What this does is this makes all of your sword attacks Sword of the Darkness Flame. And yeah, you see it just turned off. When you see that yellow buff turn on you, that means it just turned off. So it's not even that long of a buff. So I always want to make sure that your Dragon Eye is awakened. But yeah, all of your sword moves are, they're buffed. They get a longer range, but obviously the buff is really small. Another way to take off the Dragon Eye without having to go through that animation, because that can get you're left wide open when you do that. Another way is just idle circle. This is the Sword of the Darkness slash, and you also take the bandage off at the same time. So that's a good way to take off the bandage. That's a good way to awaken the Dragon Eye without having to go through the whole little process. Alright, so let's try and jump into this dude's bread and butter. It's pretty simple. So it's a square string, a triangle. So we're gonna do it. And triangle, and then Fist of the Mortal Flame. That's basically it. It's pretty short. That is his bread and butter. You can mix it up a lot. You can mix that move up a lot with a couple of different stuff. But that right there, that's basically his bread and butter. I always forget to start the timer. Oh well. What else should we be knowing about him? All right, his R1 square, which is this. It's a pretty good move. When you have Sword of the Darkness Flame on it, you also can do it. You'll have an increased range, and I think you'll get more invincibility frames on that. So, yeah, move is a good move. His R1 triangle is really good too because it causes crumble. This is another variation of his bread and butter I was talking about. So, it starts off with the triangles. So. Yeah, that's how you start it off, but you could do it like this also. Yeah, so that's another variation of his bread and butter. They're basically the same. They do about around the same damage. Another good move with here is the teleporting slash. It's forward and circle. This move is good because when people try to run away from you, like flying away during Victor Burst and whatnot, you can home in on them and get them with that. It's a really good move. Only problem with that move is that, if someone sees you do it, all they got to do is block and you're left wide open right afterwards. So, yeah, you got to make sure, if you're going to do it, make sure they're either airborne or running away from you, not blocking. Alright, what's another good thing about Hiei? Hiei... okay. Let's try to do his bread and butter, because I know another bread and butter, but it requires an assist of Kenshido, so let's do that real quick. Yeah. And basically, right after that punch, you could do a Fist of the Mortal Flame, and yeah, that's basically the combo. But, I try not to show off too many combos that require assist, but Kenshido is one of the best assists to link up combos with, so I'll go ahead and show that. But yeah, look how slow he charges. It's not even really worth charging up with characters like him. So yeah, let's try and do that again. Can do this also. And Hiei's R3 is pretty good. I like it. It's the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. But before I do that, let's make sure he's at full health. shall we? Now, Dragon of the Darkness Flame. This is a pretty good R3. There's two different variations of this. I'm going to show you the regular version that, should use. Just see how much damage that does? It's like 40%. For an R3, that's actually pretty bad to only do 40% with an R3. So once we get Victory Burst again, I'll show you how to increase the damage of that. And here's the thing, when you pop them up like that, press R1 and triangle, get extra damage like that. Don't do any other variations like the teleporting slash when they're up there, because if you're playing against like a competitive person, they're going to quick recover out of it. The only thing that really works against that is the R1 triangle. So let's kill him real quick and reset this. I could have just pressed restart also. I don't even know how much time is on the clock. What is another thing good about Hiei? Alright, if someone's running towards you, Sword of the Darkness Flame is a good move to, basically tell them to fuck off. Dude right here, they hit the wall, you can do that. Go straight into that R1 triangle. It's a good little, short little combo you can get out real quick. His jump triangle is actually, it's okay. It's an okay move, but it's basically another version of that. All that move is for telling people to, basically telling people to fuck off, because can't really link up any combos with that move. So I barely use that move, but it does come in handy in sometimes. So yeah, about his R1 triangle. Do that. His R1 triangle has really good tracking on it, so I highly recommend you take advantage of that. Also, this targeting system, you got to make sure you're close enough for the target to turn yellow. Because if you're not, when you do the R1 triangle, it's not going to go over there. So always make sure that target is yellow. Once it's yellow, go right over there and get them. They won't even see it coming because they'll be moving so fast. But once your target turns yellow, their target turns yellow. So if you look at, the other player's screen, both of you are in, like, attacking range. So you got to make sure, either one of you can fucking attack at that time. So you got to make sure you notice that. Alright, you can mix it up a lot with Hiei. He's pretty simple. He doesn't really have that much, to show off. But I think the only thing I have left to actually show off is the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. Alright, so let's wait for him to go down and I'll show you something. Alright, so now that he's up, can't really show you the full damage it's going to do because he's already damaged. But I'll show you something. Make sure you count how many hits the Dragon of the Darkness Flame takes. He can take about 6 hits. Once he takes about 6 hits, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then call him back with R3. Just like in the anime, you absorb the Dragon of the Darkness Flame. And then you can go straight into a combo with it. And R1 triangle. Well, he was too high for that one, but you understand the purpose. So you get a lot. The reason that special, does 40% is because of the fact that you can call it back. You see the fire on Hiei. That means he has, the Jagan Eye awakened. And, you can start off with a combo on it. And if you get 2 people, that's even better. But, yeah. There's one more thing with the special that I want to show off. But I'll have to get it again. So let me just play around with him for a while to get that R3 back. I don't even know if I can get the R3 back in time. Let me just start it over. Yeah, with this jump square, you got to make sure that you're at an arcing position, because just like the Kenshido one, Well, not even actually. When you jump, he goes straight down. So you really have to make sure. Because with Kenshido, you remember Kenshido would jump over you and do the kick, so you have to make sure you were right on them. But with Hiei, as soon as you press square, he's most likely gonna hit you with that. So that's pretty good. It's pretty good. His jump square is better than Kenshido's. See, doing this version, wouldn't recommend doing that. Only you could do that on the computer, but you can't do that on a real player. Real player will just quick recover out of it and start hitting you. Alright, so I should be getting R3 soon. Alright, there we go. Alright, so this is what I wanted to show you. The last thing I want to show off before I end this video. Shadow Isatsu Vatiha! 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't really think it was gonna work, but we'll try it. There we go. Yeah, it did work. 3, 4, 5, 6. So technically you can do 2 Dragon of the Darkness Flames if you time it correctly. So yeah, even though the first hit, the first Dragon of the Darkness Flame only takes away about 40 some odd, if you time it correctly, you can get 2 Dragon of the Darkness Flames out before they're even able to recover in the first place. And 40 plus 40 is 80. That's about 80% damage. And the fact that you can follow up after it, if you do it correctly, you can make that 100%. I obviously can't do it on the computer because I would have to time. Firstly, I would have to make sure that this computer is I have to make sure this computer is full health on and have R3. That's just too much work. You understand where I'm going with the what I'm trying to say. His square string, just pressing square, it's okay. You can use Kenshido. Follow up with that. A lot of square strings are useless, but his one is okay. So yeah, I use Kenshido a lot for Hiei, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's all there is to show with Hiei. He's not as complex as a lot of characters out there, but he's a good pickup for beginners. So yeah, that's the end of this video.